AudioQuest was founded back in 1980 by Bill, who's still very much in charge of the company today. And it was founded with a simple vision, because Bill was running a hi-fi store and he was selling great amplifiers, great speakers, great turntables, but speaker cable interconnects just didn't exist. People had lamp cord, they had the most appalling cable. And Bill got frustrated and he said, someone should make good cable. So he started to do it himself, and this is where we ended up. Today we went through the basic principles of AudioQuest, and we start off with our 4 key elements. So we start off with the benefits and the strengths of using solid core connectors instead of cheap stranded connectors, and what this does to sound. We then went through the different metals that we use, the quality of metal and the processes we use to extrude and control the metals that we use in our conductors. Then we discussed the geometry of metals, how cables are aligned around each other inside a cable, how the metal conductors are placed around each other to reduce interference and distortion.
In audio, everything matters, all the details, so all the materials can make a difference. And picking the right material in some cases is just a matter of like try different materials and see how it affects positively or negatively the sonic performance. And silver is a nice example. It's expensive, that's the only downside, but sonically it just sounds better than the highest grade of copper that we have.
We talk about the insulation, the dielectric around a cable, and how it's not just the metal that the cable is made from that makes a difference, but it is all of the material that goes around the metal that makes a huge and very important difference. Our cold weld connections, where we use zero solder in as many cables as possible, our noise dissipation system and the shielding that we use in cables, our DBS dielectric bias system, which is a wonderful way of reducing unwanted outside interference in cables.
Our product development team focused on some new CI products, and ITC was one of them. And instant toolless connecting system on coaxial cables is really brilliant. It's really easy. The only problem we have with the product is that sometimes we forget to speak about it. It's very easy. So you've got a strip tool. So you strip the cable and basically you simply push on the connector. And that's why it's named instant toolless connector, because you don't need a crimp tool to crimp on the connector on the cable. So it's a very convenient solution.
We compared to a standard major brand multi-stranded connected speaker cable, and then we worked through the AudioQuest range, starting with semi-solid cables, moving up through solid core. The key thing that made me happy was that at every point people would be talking about the difference that each cable made and the difference in the sound. And sometimes it's not even important whether someone says that it sounds better. What is important is they've identified a difference and a strength or a weakness on each type of cable. The guys were happy. They listened, they loved it, and they appreciated the differences that it made, and they understood why it made those differences as well.